Hello to all my subscribers. I have missed you. I know I haven't been around consistently, but I'm really going to try to do that a little bit more. It's hard for me because if I don't feel well, then I don't feel like filming, and I haven't felt well a lot lately, unfortunately. So I am really going to make a solid attempt to give some reviews. I recently bought some new palettes, and this is one of them. So I'm going to be doing a couple palette reviews. I'll sort of call it a palette palooza, just sort of like to get an in-depth look at a palette and then potentially do some looks. Like, for example, this look. If you'd like to see this look in tutorial form, I would be happy to do that for you, or just go into a little bit more detail and kind of also go into eye shape detail. I have you know, a regular eyelid shape, but I do have a slightly hooded eye. So I kind of do things a little bit differently. I think I have a pretty common eye. So I would say it's open, yet slightly hooded, and you know, you do have to adapt the way that you put on makeup for that particular reason. So if anyone would like a tutorial on this palette, I would be happy to do that. So it's a fantastic palette. It definitely is the type of palette that is sort of for everybody, because I think that a makeup newbie could use this palette. And also the other great thing about this is that this is It Cosmetics, the line in general, is sort of like one of those companies that's doing skincare and makeup together, which is awesome because it's nice to have extra added bonuses into your makeup, and your eyelids are extremely important. So having skincare in eye makeup, definitely not a bad idea. The palette itself is gorgeous. The tones are very, very natural. The texture of the actual eyeshadow, although it calls itself Matte Luxe, which to me by definition would mean that it is a matte toned palette, but the Luxe sort of adds in the fact that you're gonna find some not sheerness, and definitely not sparkle in this palette, but there's a silkiness to the palette, and there's a true ease and blendability with it, yet the colors are so pigmented. And they're, you know, it is a neutral palette, and yes, we are bombarded by neutral palettes. However, this is a very versatile neutral palette. You know, you obviously have your lighter shades, and then they go up in the range, and then you even have some very dark shades. But you have this over here, which is your transforming shade, which you can mix with a shade to make it more sparkly. So you could make it into a, you know, more sparkly shade if that's what you wanted. Or you could use this as a highlight. It's an awesome shade, so I'll kind of show you the transforming color, which is really nice. And then I'll kind of go through all of the colors. So first I'll do Sheer Joy, Soft Light, which is so one of my favorite colors, Love, and Sunrise, which are the first four colors. So these are the first four colors. So what you have here is, in order, Sheer Joy, Soft Light, Love, and Sunrise, which is that darker shade. So I think that they're really, really, really pretty shades. I have some of the Sunrise and some of the Sunset in my eye look today. So the next four shades are Warmth, Soulful, Sunset, and All Heart. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch those ones for you. So we have Soulful, let's see, Warmth, Soulful, Sunset, and All Heart, which is a nice pink shade. So they're, I mean, they're really, really nice colors. They're just, they just run the gamut. And this palette, like if you really didn't want to buy another palette, if you're not a palette junkie like me, and you really just wanted an all-around great palette to travel with, this would be your palette for sure. And with the versatility as far as, it's just an easy to use palette. And I really think that a brand new makeup person could love this palette and have ease in application. And then also, I mean, someone who is an expert, it's not, you know, it's a palette that definitely gives you all that you need. So here we have Mocha, Violet, Java, and Iconic. So they're just really, really gorgeous shades. I mean, wow. And they're just amazing shades. I'm really, really happy with this palette purchase. And the palette itself is only $42, which is, when you think about it, because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 shades. That's a couple dollars an eyeshadow. So, I mean, I think that, like, a lot of people look at these palettes as, like, high-end products, but, you know, I am a budget-conscious shopper, and, you know, yeah, you could go out and buy $2 or $3 products, but you're only going to get one shade. So to get all of these shades is just incredible. So the next shades that I'm going to do for you are just the last two, which are Midnight. Oops. Midnight and Noir, which is a black. So, and it's definitely not the blackest black, but this Midnight is amazing. I've used it with a couple different looks, and I've really loved it. So that's the Midnight, and that's the Noir, which means black. So they're great corner shades, or you could, I've used this palette wet for eyeliner on myself and other people, and I've had great success with it. The Java color makes this gorgeous brown eyeliner that is really, really nice for just a casual look, but it's very nice and matte and dark. So it's an awesome palette. I am super happy with the It's Pretty. So it's It Cosmetic, Naturally Pretty, Volume 1, which indicates that there could be a Volume 2, which is awesome. So I'm super happy with this palette. I would definitely suggest, if you are on the market for a palette, considering purchasing this. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. It's sort of like a soft, I love the color. It's like this smoky rose, which is nice, but it's this soft, smushy kind of palette. Just for me, the only reason I don't like this is I like to keep all my palettes lined up in my makeup collection, and because it's extra puffy, it's just sort of, I don't know, it doesn't match with my other palettes because it's puffy, so it doesn't blend well with the rest of my collection, but that certainly didn't stop me from buying it. I love it. I think it's great. I think probably the softness of the outside of this packaging is probably going to lend to it getting pretty dirty fast, but we'll see. And sort of like with the Naked One palette, it has this like gold lettering, which we all know if we have a Naked One palette, it wears off, and it's probably going to wear off on this too. So, I mean, those are really like my only complaints. Other than that, it's a phenomenal palette, definitely worth the buy. I say go and buy it. Hey, if you are interested in me doing any looks from this palette, just let me know. I would be happy to do a tutorial on this particular look, or maybe you'd like to see a look with some of the other shades. Maybe you'd like to see a more, this is more of like a sunset kind of look. That's what I call it, at least. Sort of a nice, friendly look for summer. I kind of did it with a dewy skin look. And, you know, if you'd like to see something more smoky, more nighttime-ish, just let me know. I mean, I think that this particular look would be okay for work. I think it would be okay for a date night. I think it would be okay for running to the grocery store. You know, anything. Dinner out. You know, I think it's a great, I think the shades are great. I think they complement my face well. I think it looks really great for the time of year, which is spring into summer. So it is a nice palette. Love you all. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you would like to see more looks with this particular palette. And like I kind of mentioned, I'm sort of doing a palette palooza. Not even really sure if that's a thing. But I also got the Kat Von D Monarch palette, and I'm going to do some looks with that, and I'm going to show that palette. And then there are a couple palettes that I have that I haven't been using as much, and it's not that I don't love them, I do, but so I'm really revisiting many of my palettes and going through and doing some looks with them. So sort of a palette palooza. Woo! Bye, guys.